Okay, good day, pre-calculus students. This is Blizzard Bag number 1. I'm Mr. McCully, and this is our short video presentation for January 24th, 2022. And let's keep it short and sweet and get right to it. Today we're going to review the unit circle, and we're going to find some trigonometric ratios of sine, cosine, tangent, and secant, cosecant, and cotangent using the unit circle. Here is a picture of the unit circle. It has all the values except for the ones that I want to talk about all the way around through. We also have to have 2 pi, 360 degrees, and then also 1, 0, because we're going to need that later on when we get to angles that are bigger than just 2 pi. Relationship between the trig ratios in the unit circle: the sine of any given value of theta is the y value at that point. The cosine is the x value at that point. The tangent is the ratio of the y value to the x value. The cosecant is the reciprocal of the y value. The secant is the reciprocal of the x value, and the cotangent is both the reciprocal of the tangent or just x over y. So how am I going to use that? Well, let's take a look at some examples here. It says find the trig ratio of value on the unit circle. So I have my sine of 3 pi over 4, and then I come over here. There's my 3 pi over 4, and the y value, which again, sine is the y. So the y value at 3 pi over 4 is going to be square root of 2 over 2. So my solution to this particular one is square root of 2 over 2. All right, let's talk about the cotangent. And so we go back up to our unit circle. When we do negatives, we're going to go clockwise. So here is negative 1 pi over 3. Here's negative 2 pi over 3. Our x value is negative 1/2. Our y value is negative square root of 3 over 2. And since we're doing cotangent, we're going to go x over y. And so in this particular instance, our x value was negative 1/2. Our y value was square root of 3 over 2. And we remember that whenever we divide a fraction by a fraction, we take the top fraction and we leave it alone. And then we multiply, and I needed a negative there, we multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So I'll have negative 2 over the square root of 3. And so my negatives cancel, and so do my 2's. So negative times the negative is positive. I have negative 1 over the square root of 3. We'll multiply that by our funky 1, square root of 3 over square root of 3. And we do that so that we don't have a radical in the denominator. And the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9, which is, I'll just write it, square root of 9. And then 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3. We can reduce the square root of 9. It is just 3, so I have square root of 3 all over 3. And that is my value right there. Alright, so if I talk about this thing, find the trig ratio of a value that's not on the unit circle using some sort of reference angle. The cosine of 17 pi over 6. Well, 17 pi over 6 is not on the unit circle. It is far too large. But you'll notice that if I go all the way around, that'll be 2 pi radians. And then whatever else, then we start repeating values. So this thing right here is similar to, and again, every time I go around one time, and 2 pi is equal to 12 pi over 6. So if I take that 17 pi over 6 and I subtract the 12 pi over 6, I'll get 5 pi over 6. So in essence, this 17 pi over 6, this cosine of 17 pi over 6 is going to give me the same value as the cosine of 5 pi over 6. So when I go to my unit circle and I go to 5 pi over 6, the cosine is the x value, so I'll have square root of 3 over 2. And it's negative because we are in the second quadrant. Finally, the tangent of negative 11 pi over 2. Okay, well, we can do that. And again, remember that 2 pi is equal to 4 pi over 2. So negative 11 pi over 2, well, let's see here. Negative 11 pi over 2 If I add 4 pi over 2 to that, I'll get negative 7 pi over 2. Well, that's still too big. That's still more than 4 pi over 2. So negative 7 pi over 2 plus 4 pi over 2 will give me negative 3 pi over 2. Well, negative 3 pi over 2 is on the unit circle. So the tangent of negative 11 pi over 2 is going to be equal to the tangent of negative 3 pi over 2. All right, so what do I got to do here? So I go to negative 3 pi over 2. So here's negative 1 pi over 2, negative 2 pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 2. The x value is 0 and the y value is 1. And again, if we go to tangent, tangent is y over x. And so in this particular case, again, the y value is 1, the x value is equal to 0, so this one is going to be undefined. Well, that's all I have for today, folks. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or come to the Zoom meeting at 11 o'clock. And there is a short worksheet on the Google Classroom, so take a look at that. And we'll finish off with a Mr. McCully fun fact of the day. Mr. McCully's favorite color is purple. You see, Mace Windu has my favorite color lightsaber. This is Medusa wearing purple and Hawkeye wearing purple. And this is my new Yeti purple thing that I put in my Amazon cart today and should be arriving soon. That's all I got today, folks. Have a great day. Goodbye.